We bought this car as a parts car. And you can see the roof is completely rusted out from a vinyl top. Somewhere along the line we decided to save it, so we started sanding on it. And we used vinegar to try to remove some of that rust. We used another coat of vinegar later on. Lots of cleaning, lots of sanding. We used a wire wheel to get it out of the pits, and then we used a rust converter as the final step to try to get any residual rust that might have been in those pits that we weren't able to get. We used 1708 fiberglass. It's normally used on boats. It's got a woven cloth-like material on one side, and then the back side is strand. It's pretty thick stuff. Then we mixed resin in with Bondo to thin it out and applied a skim coat to the top of the fiberglass to fill in the imperfections. And that's where we pick up today. Alright, we sanded, filled some more low spots with Bondo, sanded some more. It's time to put some high build primer on it, kind of get an idea of how close we're getting. Alright, we got some high build primer on there. We're not at the finish line yet, but I think we can see it from here. It's looking okay. It's starting to come together. We got a couple spots to work on. The worst, I don't know how well this will show up on camera here, but right there is probably the worst of it. We got some marks where the seams of the two chunks of fiberglass came together. So we're gonna work on that and just generally work the whole top, hit it with some, we're gonna hit it with some guide coat and see what we're working with. Pretty happy with what I'm looking at right now. Still a lot of work to do, but we're getting there. Well, I had done some testing with the Herculiner, and I was pretty comfortable with the idea of using that, but the more time goes by, the more I'm starting to doubt myself. Is it not enough texture? Is it too glossy? So, decided we're going to do a few more tests before we commit to spraying that stuff on there, just to make sure I'm comfortable. And then at the same time, I'm always like reminding myself, this thing was headed for the scrap yard. It's not supposed to be perfect. It's just supposed to be a, you know, save it. Yeah, is lucky to not be junk kind of thing. And I don't want to get too stupid with how much time and effort I put into it, because I do have two other vehicles that are going to be, you know, we're going to do a better job on, but at the same time I don't want it to be trash. So we're going to test a couple things here and see what we can figure out. All right, we know with the Herculiner we want to do multiple light coats so that it gets as much texture as you can. I mean, typically you want to spray things on nice and wet so that it'll level out and be a smooth finish. We're kind of looking for the opposite of that with this bed liner, so we're gonna spray the opposite of what we normally would do. All right, we got 3 light coats on there. Starting to remember why I was okay with this stuff. It doesn't look too bad, really. The texture is a little thin. I guess sharp, I would call it. It's not flat. It's kind of sharp. That could be better, but I'm not hating it. We're gonna keep moving. All right, with 4 light coats, the sharpness is starting to go away. Start to feel better. This has 1 coat. You can definitely feel the difference. The texture's getting smoother, flatter, less sharp. All right, so we got 5 light coats on that, and I'm back to not hating it. Kind of remember why I was thinking about it in the first place. Well, it's not perfect, but I think it's going to be good enough for what we're trying to do. I think the trick is going to be to put on the last coat relatively heavy to kind of smooth it out. But I think we're about at the point we're done playing. It's time to make something happen. That's 4 light coats, 1 kind of medium coat, and it looks to be about the 20,000 stick that I'm looking to achieve overall. Kind of have a problem with the color not being consistent. Where it gets heavier, wherever you put it on heavier, it's got more gloss. So I'm not sure how that's going to play out in the long run. I may need to end up painting it satin or semi-gloss black afterwards, just to make the color even. And we'll see how it looks, but kind of what I'm anticipating at this point. All right, a bunch more sanding has been done. There's still imperfections. It's like if I was gonna paint it, it would not be ready for sure. But I think everything, all the flaws are small enough that I think the texturing will, hide them, and I think they may even just help providing the texturing. So, it's time to make something happen here. My wife asked me the other night, she's like, "Did you get the sanding done?" And I just laughed. I was like, no, I didn't get the sanding done, but I think I might be done sanding. And that's kind of where we're at. I think it's going to be good enough for what we're trying to do here. Well, I guess a moment of truth. That feeling where it's like, damn, man, I'm about to screw up a whole bunch of hard work here. But at some point, you got to pull the trigger. Well, that's one coat down. We'll let that dry up some. See where we're at. You can see some of the imperfections, but honestly, I'm not hating it. You gotta wait for it to dry, kind of see what it looks like, then see how it evens out. Looking a little splotchy yet. Kind of got like some stripes where the coverage isn't real even, so we're going to give it another coat. But overall, I mean, it's getting there considering where it started. Yeah, it needs another coat though. We'll see what it looks like then. I put another coat on there, but it really didn't help the splotchiness. It's still kind of stripy where the coverage just wasn't even. It looks good, like if I get it wet, it looks real nice, which has me debating between, do I paint it a satin or a semi-gloss black, or do I look for a satin or a semi-gloss clear coat to put over it? So I'll be deciding on that. I mean, I could have done a fake video for YouTube. If I would have sprayed the thing with some Armor All, she would have looked good, and I could have made a heck of a video and made it look like I'd accomplished something great here. But reality is what it is, and I don't want to do anything fake. So I mean, it's working. It looks. I mean, I'm not disappointed. Really didn't want to have to paint over top of it or clear coat over top of it, but you got to do what you got to do. Also, just want to mention that I did try Raptor bedliner also. They have a semi-gloss in a spray can, and I was not happy with it at all. They have a fan spray pattern trying to emulate what a spray gun would be, and it was very uneven. It sprayed way heavier to the bottom side than it did to the top, which made getting good coverage really hard to do. And it splattered a lot, like big drops, big leaks. And I tried 2 different cans, so I don't even think it was just that I got an unlucky can. Just wasn't happy with their product. That being said, knowing what I know now, if I was to do it again, I would not be looking for the semi-gloss like I was trying to this time to save that step. I'd just go ahead and get the flat and roll from there. But don't take my word for anything. Test on your own. Make sure you're happy with what you're looking at. I've had people in the comments telling me that using a spray can is a bad idea. I thought it was good enough for what I'm trying to accomplish. You have to make your own choices. A couple of other lessons learned. I should have made the striping for the fake vinyl seams more pronounced. When the texture went on, they kind of faded quite a bit. I used a screen that you would normally use on drywall to go over the entire top. It still had some of the little sharp, pointy edges in that texturing. And so I just went over it real light with that, and that was effective. That was a good deal there. And I'm going to pat myself on the back for my prep work on this thing. It's the first time I've undertaken anything anywhere near this magnitude. It came out really good. The only thing I'm disappointed in is the coloring, the unevenness in the coloring. Well, it looks good from here.